My hammock seat packs up this small. And it's not symmetrical, so this end, I use this seat sideways on, weirdly. You'll see in a minute what I mean. So this is the high end, piece of string through a cinched up loop in the material, tie it about that height, once round, and the simplest slit reef knot, so half a bow is plenty to keep it up. Give it a yank to keep it tight, maybe a bit higher, that can be adjusted in a second. Okay, the low end of the hammock seat, which is going to be where my feet are, is going to have a footrest, thus made from a stick, and the stick needs to be something really quite hard, either a piece of nice springy green wood, or better still something that's well seasoned. This is a piece of vine, some sort of vine that I got from a beech tree. It's incredibly hard, as hard as beech really, and it needs to be minimum of 25mm or 1 inch diameter and a good foot or 300mm long, preferably longer, and that's going to live in these two loops which come off the foot end of the hammock. The loops are marlin spike hitches, I believe, the simplest kind of slip knot, and I leave them in the string because in the paracord, because the knots form the paracord and it's nearly impossible to undo them. So I just leave them in there, put it around the end of the stick, pull tight, and it will tighten up when I sit in it, of course. Oh yes. So that's the plan. That is going to be the footrest, and these are going to go around the other tree, which I'll show you now. This is this piece of paracord is free to slide in the end of the hammock loop, which means if you can, when you tie it around the tree, the lower tree, the whole piece of paracord loop is free to swivel, which means you can get the footrest straight, basically. Otherwise it's quite annoying. So I shall go ahead and tie this around the lower of the trees, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, there's the set-up hammock seat. High at one end, low at the other. So, as well as the normal hammock problems of getting the tension right, you also need to get the two ends at the right heights. You get used to it after about, I don't know, not more than 50 attempts. When it's right, it's superb. And now, the footrest, which is the thing that makes it usable, really. The footrest's a bit high on this setup. I could do with raising the head end a bit, but there's many different modes of sitting in it, like this, and it's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. So, when the foot end is round a large diameter tree like that, the whole thing is very stable. If the foot end is round a narrow diameter tree like the head end is, the whole thing tends to swing around more, but it's just like a normal hammock really. You get used to it. And it's certainly one of the most comfortable ways I've found of sitting outdoors. You get a cold bum because your clothing's compressed, but that's typical of a hammock, and
there we are, that's my hammock seat arrangement. Thanks for watching.